many dings you're gonna do?
I couldn't tell when I went to mute myself. I thought it was unmuted the whole ding time.
Gonna do it again. Okay. All right. So anyone can just speak up and let me know if they can't hear me well enough. So what I'm gonna offer now is not a technique. Everybody here knows how to meditate, has various techniques they've used. Some people may just meditate intuitively. Others may use a specific technique ongoing. And then others may switch techniques variously. What I'm going to describe here, what I'm going to point to, is not incompatible with any of those ways of approaching meditation. It's pointing to the substance of meditation. What a meditative non-state. It's what's here, whether we're meditating or not. So I like to point in this way just as a background for a retreat, so that there's just a sense, a feel of a default mode of meditation, of being, that you can access anytime. So really what this is unfiltered experience, unfiltered texture, unfiltered consciousness, unfiltered sound, unfiltered sensation. And this means that we are not applying a filter, or if there's a filter applied, that which no filter applies to, if that makes sense. So there's something here, regardless of whether we're filtering, regardless of whether there's conditioning, distraction in the mind, in consciousness. There's something that still never escapes you. It never is not the case. It's never apart from you. So the mere act of having an intention to lay down our agendas, to set down our needs for the moment, our ideas of how reality is supposed to be, or how reality is, if we just the act, the instinct to let those rest right now, is all that's required. This meditative non-state that I'm pointing to, it comes forward a bit with that act, the act of, I'll call it surrender for the moment. So in this surrender, in this this act of relaxing, letting go, we will notice sensations in the body. It might be a feeling of air across your skin. It might be a feeling of tingles in your fingertips, your face, and your toes. That just comes. It's here already. There might be sound, whoosh, voice, ear buzz. That's already here. We don't have to apprehend it. We don't have to condition it. We don't have to label it. We don't even have to put it in space, meaning over there or over here. So we don't try to apprehend any specific experience. We don't compare whatever this is with what we think the right experience is, which could be from an experience we had in the past that seemed, or at least according to our thought right now, seemed like the best experience or the right experience. We don't have to compare to that, this immediate. We don't have to compare it to what somebody has told us is enlightened experience or non-dual experience or empty experience. So we don't have to compare it to anything. So isn't that nice? We let the one who compares rest. And then everything is just what it is. Whether it's a thought, thoughts will come and say, I'm not very clear right now. Or I don't even know if I know what meditation is and I've been doing it for 20 years. Or, wow, this is so peaceful. Thoughts can say any of that. None of that's more or less true than anything else. It's just movements. Movements of thought. Consciousness and thought moving, dancing, like flag and wind, dancing, moving together. There's no need to evaluate. So we've let the evaluator rest. We've let the one who wants to catalog experience rest. You might notice sensations along the midline of our body, the chest, and the gut, and the groin, in the neck, jaw, head, wherever that comes forth, that pure sensation is perfectly okay. It's exactly right. So our attention finds itself there immediately without effort because we don't judge. We don't decide this is right, this is wrong, this is better or worse meditation. I feel like things are very close. Like there's contact without two objects making contact, just the pure contact. You can't be out of contact with this. Whether that contact is more mental in nature in the head, more in the chest, in the heart, or even in the gut. There's no dividing line. There's no inside and no outside. There's no observation apart from the observed. There's no need for this to be still. There's no need for this to move in any specific way. So we can even let the one that differentiates stillness from movement rest. what is this like? And we don't call it anything. We call it still. We don't call it movement. We don't call it mine. We don't call it not mine. What is it that's never had a boundary? What is it that doesn't have edges or center? And we can observe a sound, experience a sound, whatever it is right now. Does that sound have an edge? The purity of the sound itself. Does it have a center? Can you pin it down to say it's still or it's moving? It's just what it is, unapologetically. Without need of explanation or description. So this is a place where everything's allowed. It could be difficult emotion, challenging emotion, something we don't encounter on a daily basis. Frustration, sadness, grief, shame. If that emotion, one of those emotions or any other emotion appears, makes itself known. We're now in a very safe place to explore its tactile nature, feel of it. Can you find the head? Can you find where it is discontinuous with any sensation in the body, especially the core of the body? You can allow our attention to pour into any experience, including an emotion or a resistance pattern of frustration, an area of confusion. Our attention can move right into that easily, effortlessly. We learn how to do this from the body sensation. We learn this language of immediacy, this language of not having to worry about acceptance because it's already the case. We learn this from the sense world, specifically the body sense. That which we avoid the most is actually the best teacher, the most potent teacher in the end. So we don't add conditioning to any of our experiences, whether thoughts, emotions, sounds, sensations, color patterns, shapes. We don't add conditioning, we don't modify. Don't try to name or label. Don't try to heal anything. We don't try to solve or figure anything out. We simply reclaim contact here. We learn to trust the intelligence of that immediacy, the contact. This is not an intellectual intelligence. It's the intelligence of being. What being is even rooted. So we can't do this wrong. There's no such thing as a good or bad experience here. There's not a better or worse experience here. If better or worse come, they're perfectly welcome. Their thoughts, fluctuations in the mind. Better, worse, worse, better, better, worse, worse, better. It's like a circuit in consciousness. Seamless. Self, other, self, self, other, self. These are just circuits in consciousness. Holding on, letting go, holding on. These are just the peak and the trough of the same wave. And they switch places. One becomes the trough and becomes the peak, and vice versa. This is how everything moves in consciousness. When we don't see the peak, we try to resist the trough. That's when we're feeling a little ballistic, introducing will inside of consciousness, and we're conditioning consciousness, we're trying to. So you can take a step backward from that. Recognize there's no peak without a trough, there's no trough without a peak. There's no gain without a loss, and no loss without a gain. There's no belief I'm a good meditator without belief I'm a bad meditator. And around those go. And the more you see that circuit, the more you recognize you, as you know yourself in consciousness at least, are all parts of that circuit equally. You're the up and the down, the near and the far. So where there's a single thought, a barrage of thoughts, or in a trough of the stuff thoughts seem to form out of a fluctuating consciousness, or even a very calm, oceanic experience of consciousness, all perfectly okay. None is better than another. Sound is our teacher here. There's no better or worse sound. Sound can have a self and other. It's not near and not far. Sensation similarly. You divide a sensation. You can't find an edge to a sensation. You can't find a beginning or end to sensation without intellectualizing it. The direct, immediate, physical experience is just sensation. So our attention is allowed to move freely. And our attention isn't something that exists between experiences. It's a way of speaking. So sound, just sound. Sensation, just sensation. Nothing else. Thought, just one thought. nothing else, no other place, no other experience. Even resistance is just that, just resistance. When we don't resist resistance, it ceases to be. We meet ourselves infinitely. There are no rules in this experience. That's the freedom. There aren't unconscious rules. There aren't conscious rules. It's just this. And it's not even an experience. Not even it. It goes for any of that. Too immediate and immediately gone. This is freedom from needing any sort of map, any sort of paradigm, any sort of knowledge. Those can be useful, they can be powerful, but in this, which is always here, always available, they're just completely unnecessary. We're free of that. Free of self and other. Free of past and present and future. Free of trying to be present. Free of trying to be empty. Free to be I or I am. Free of having to inquire. If there feels to be something fundamental, it's a sensation that feels stuck, unmoving, that's perfectly, exactly right. Just like that. We don't need to apply agendas to even that, even to suffering. It's perfectly exactly where it needs to be right now. Meditation doesn't have to feel good. It doesn't have to feel peaceful. It can, but it doesn't have to. No reason to put any limitations on this.
You're muted, Angela.
We'll see everybody at 17:10.